Hey there, I'm Scott, and welcome back to my home and kitchen. A few weeks ago, it seems like, I had an email from a guy named Red Todd, and Red Todd gave me a little bit of info on himself. He's actually a championship barbecuer. He does the barbecue competition circuit and also writes a column for a barbecue publication. And he asked me, of all people, to help him figure out how to recreate this delicious pasta soup that he gets from an Italian restaurant that he enjoys. And the soup is called pasta E Fagioli, and that's pasta and beans in a soup, and it's delicious. I've had it before, but to recreate this recipe, I had to do a little bit of research. I contacted my best friend Allison. She used to work at a great Italian restaurant on the Upper East Side of New York City, to kind of research what pasta went into this, but also contacting some Italian friends and some friends from culinary school, and really asking for their input. So I took all of that and sort of put it together and came up with this recipe, which I hope is what you're looking for, Red. Let me know. So let's go in the kitchen and get started. Alright, so pasta E Fagioli, and it's a no better day for this because it's actually a little bit rainy and cold here in Portland, so that's why I'm doing this recipe today. The ingredients you'll need for the recipe, are pretty typical for what you'll find in Italian cuisine. And let me get those listed here for you. I have 1 pound of Italian sausage. I'm using the spicy here. You could use mild. You could also use ground beef if you wanted to. Or you can omit it completely for a vegetarian version of this dish. 2 cups of chicken stock, and that's just a regular low sodium chicken stock. 2 large, 28 ounce cans of Italian tomatoes, and these are the San Marzano, the best. So 2 cans of those. Here I have a teaspoon each of basil, dried oregano, and dried thyme. So that's 1 teaspoon of each. I have 3/4 of a pound of ditalini pasta, and that's basically a tubular pasta that's hollow in the middle, that's cut short. And this is where people might, get a little bit different with their recipes. I came across some research that said you use elbow macaroni, some that said you don't use this type of pasta, but you use more of a shell type pasta. It's really up to you, but this is predominantly what I found was the ditalini pasta. You'll also need 1 can of cannellini beans that's rinsed and drained. And in this bowl I have about 1.25 cups of finely chopped onion, about 1 cup of finely chopped carrots, and about 1/2 cup of finely chopped celery, and also 2 or 3 garlic cloves depending on your taste. And over here I have a pot that's heating up over the heat, and to that I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil when we get started preparing this recipe. So what I want to do is take my Italian sausage, and I just bought the bulk kind. We're going to take it and we're just going to pull off little bits, and we want, I guess, smaller than a golf ball size meatballs. Just roll those together and then put those into your fat. We're going to brown all those off and get them cooked almost through. Then we'll start adding the rest of our ingredients. The meatballs have become nicely browned on all sides, and just while they're cooking I've been kind of moving them around to make sure that they do brown evenly across. And you're not worried necessarily about cooking them all through because this is a soup and it will stew for a little bit. Alright, so to our meatballs, I'm going to add our vegetable mixture, the mirepoix, and the garlic. All going to go right in. Just give this a turn around. We're going to let this saute for about 5 minutes. Again, well, we're really not looking to brown these vegetables, just cook them through until they're just slightly translucent. It's been just about 5 minutes and the vegetables are getting really nicely translucent. So to this, what I want to do is add our 2 cans of the Italian tomatoes. Go right in. And these tomatoes actually have some basil in them. I think that adds just a little bit of flavor to it, but if you can't find that particular style, just the regular canned tomatoes would be fine. Okay, so I'm going to let this go now that I've added the tomatoes for about 10 minutes. Oh, and by the way, I'm working over a medium-high heat here, so quite hot. After you've let those tomatoes cook for just a little bit, what we want to do now is add our cannellini beans to that. Let's add our pasta to that. And if you want a denser soup dish, you can add more pasta. I'm using, like I said, 3/4 of a pound, but you could add a complete pound and it would be a little stewier. I'm adding the dried herbs, the thyme, oregano, and basil, and our chicken stock. Alright, so we're just going to stir all that up and get it well combined. And you know what? This is already looking so good, and I think those flavors are going to be delicious. But one thing I failed to mention in the list of ingredients was fresh parsley. And I have here probably what's going to end up being about 6 tablespoons or so of freshly chopped Italian parsley. We don't want to leave the leaves too big, but you don't have to worry about getting them super, super fine. Run the knife through it just a little bit. And this fresh parsley is going to go right into the soup pile. Just like that. Alright. Give this parsley a stir in. What I'm going to do now is reduce the heat to a medium and put the lid on and let this go for about 45 minutes. If you notice about halfway through that your liquid is getting a little too low, just come in and add some water, stir it up, and put the lid back on and you'll be fine. And like I said, if you want a lighter version of this, add more chicken stock or more water and chicken stock to get it to the thinness that you like. So it was just 45 minutes and it smells and looks delicious. I did taste it and it does need just a little pinch or two of salt. Just gonna put that right over the top. And check yours, depending on your chicken stock and a number of other variables, your soup may or may not need additional seasoning. So it's always good just to check as you go along, and then obviously the finished product. So I've got to have a little taste of this. Pasta and one of those meatballs. Gosh, it looks good. For dinner, I'm going to serve this with a salad and some really great French bread and a nice douse of grana padano cheese shaved over the top. But now I just want to get the simple flavor of the soup. You know what? It's really, really good. And I'm glad that I took the time to research this and talk to as many people as I did to get this final product. So guys, thanks so much for watching. And please feel free to email me at scottinoregon@comcast.net, just as Red Todd did, asking me to prepare this one. You know what? I'll be happy to prepare a recipe for you. All right, have a good day. Bye.